Introducing the Open Palm Podcast with host Jerome Shaw, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. The Open Palm Podcast is a positive, uplifting, motivational, and inspirational podcast. The host brings his insight and philosophy, and you can't help but gravitate towards his smile, his words, and his wisdom. Again, the podcast he hosts is titled The Open Palm Podcast. It's about inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas and topics. He'll also help you become more aware and in harmony with your own life, giving you a better understanding of your place in the world and using your skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. You can find the show today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also connect with the host on Instagram at JRomeShaw. That's JROMESHAW on Instagram. Jerome Shaw with the Open Palm Podcast. Motivation, meditation, mentality. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. This quote was won by Vince Lombardi. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. You know that saying, fall down 7 times, but get up 8. You know, when it comes to boxing and boxing championships, we've seen different fighters throughout the ages get knocked down, even get knocked out. But no one remembers the fighter that got knocked down and stayed down. The fighters that we remember throughout boxing history are the ones that got knocked down and got back up. The ones that kept fighting, the ones that kept going. That's why we know their names. The Mike Tysons, Muhammad Ali's, right? The Sugar Ray Leonards. Not the fighters that got knocked down. Anybody can get knocked down, anybody. But does anybody get back up? Not everybody. That's what makes the difference and makes all the difference. Not whether you get knocked down. Anybody can. It's easy to get knocked down. But it's not as easy to get back up after you've been knocked down. That is the determination within you that will determine your future, that will determine your success. Your attitude determines your altitude. How high you rise is if you can lift your chin up after a loss, after a defeat. You know, Maya Angelou once said, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." There's a difference between encountering defeat and being defeated. There's a big difference. You may encounter defeat on this road, and most likely you will. But being defeated? No, you never have to be defeated, my friend. You never have to accept defeat. So, on your journey, if you encounter a roadblock, a stumbling block, a failure, an error in judgment, or something that knocks you down emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, anything, you get back up. You get back up. You get back up. Because not only are you giving yourself that strength today, but in getting back up, you are giving yourself double strength tomorrow. You are telling yourself that you trust yourself to get through a hardship, to get through turmoil, by giving yourself more confidence in yourself than in those dark times, those dark, depressing times that may come whenever there's no one else around you. You'll be able to count on yourself. And as I say, accountability is a superpower. Because you can't always count on others, but you should always be able to count on you. So, my friend, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's it's whether you get up. When you get up, you stand the test of time. You have a testimony by going through that test. And it stands as a testament for someone else to know what is possible for them when they see what was possible for you. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in San Antonio, Texas. I pray you received an encouraging message, letting you know that you don't ever have to stay down. You may be knocked down, but you don't have to stay down. You may encounter defeat, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it. Doesn't mean you have to be defeated. You can get back up. You can rise. Still you rise and rise again. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if this is your first time receiving this, definitely subscribe for more inspirational messages. And if you feel compelled to support the podcast, consider opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. Clicking that support button there is much appreciated. Big shout out to all the wonderful supporters who continue to donate to the podcast, making it possible for episodes like this. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night wherever you are, my friend. And as always, take care.